Into practice will be announced a couple of Libre. So far, pace picks up into Libre because they
I'm back.
Did you enjoy that moment?
I did.
Was it captured on your...
It was. I'm going to dine out in it forever. Thank you.
Well, they're not. The telehandler is still in position. One more time, that is the last Libre car. So it's a collective ride, so they should be able to go out through the snatch.
Right, hello everybody, welcome back once again to a beautiful sunny Silverstone. A little bit of wind actually picking up, blowing right behind us, but we have another treat for you here. It's time for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup, very first race of the day. That's not it though, a little bit further down the assembly area. We're also delighted to say we're joined by the Libre invitation in the Mini 7 Racing Club. We're going to bring you the action from both of the races, so we'll cover both of them for you as best as we can. I'm delighted to say if you did watch our previous Mini 7 race, wow, that was an absolute cracker, wasn't it? But back to the MG Cup as well. Qualifying took place this morning. Let's just pop up onto the screen the qualifying results from earlier today, and as we can see, Mike Williams and Morgan Short are going to go toe-to-toe. It was Mike Williams who just pipped Short to that all-important pole position. Actually, we talk about it being all-important, Charles. It's not as important here at Silverstone, is it? They literally start side by side. Mike was probably going to get the jump anyway on Morgan in that nippy Metro, so perhaps pole isn't as important here as, say, other places?
No, I mean, Silverstone's obviously a great place for overtaking. You've got long straights, you've got some hard braking zones, a lot of fast corners and things as well. The track's wide enough that you could almost run three, well, we've seen 3 abreast today already. I mean, in something small, I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen 4 coming down the Hanger Straight even. So, yeah, it's not the most important thing in the world. And like you said, yeah, most likely the lighter, smaller car will get off the line a little bit quicker. There's just less mass to get off the line. It's quite, you know, it's that simple. So
absolutely.
That race to turn 1 isn't the most important thing in the world, but it does help.
Certainly, and of course we saw plenty of action with the Mini 7 Libre Invitation class yesterday. Dan Lewis coming over the start-finish line in first place. Is he going to make it back-to-back wins here this weekend with the Mini 7 Racing Club? We're going to find out probably in about 25 minutes or so. We've got Morgan Short and Mike Williams. I'm surprised they're talking to each other because they're going to be about to do battle on track, aren't you? I might just over-dressing this up a little bit, but qualifying was pretty tight, wasn't it?
It was quite tight, wasn't it? 0.070, I think.
Oh, my word, yeah.
Yeah. But we were both getting faster, I think, as we went, getting used to the circuit.
Yeah.
But the cars were getting slower as the tyres were falling apart.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the race is going to be like. Probably be the man who keeps his tyres.
The man who keeps his tyres. Yeah. Okay, good advice there. Good advice. Cheers, Mike. Now, Morgan, of course, we did actually catch up with you, didn't we, in the paddock as well? Pulled off in qualifying, overheating the issue. Is it going to be all right for the distance?
Fingers crossed. We're still not too sure what exactly happened, but we've tried to increase the cooling as much as possible. The air is only going through the radiator now, and changed a few caps and just, we've tried everything we can, and hopefully it'll be all right. I'll keep an eye on the temperature, and then who knows, we'll find out at the end of the race.
It's getting hotter, isn't it? The air temperature is baking. Best of luck, guys. Thank you very much. Let's just move down a little bit. I did want to see if we grab a catch up with some of the guys a bit further down there. There's my old mate, the old mucker, and he's trying to avoid me. How's it going, boys? How you doing? You all right? You good?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, good, mate. Recovered from Friday, have we?
Yeah.
Good, man.
I drank a lot of water.
How are you feeling after qualifying? Are you happy with that?
It was okay. I couldn't get much grip in the slow corners.
Yeah.
So I've made some adjustments. Hopefully get a bit better grip now. It's just hot. It's just hot and sweaty.
Yeah. Plenty of straight line speed though in your car, isn't there?
Yeah. To be honest, we've never been around here for quite a while. It does take a bit of sort of getting used to the circuit again and stuff. So, yeah.
It's a long old lap though, isn't it? You got plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah. Just don't hang straight. Brilliant.
Put the radio on. Listen to the commentary live. Why not?
Turn the aircon in the car.
Tom, I'll let you crack on. Cheers, Matthew. Let's go down there because Charles, you told me something interesting a bit earlier. We think it's Rod Weston Bartholomew's last race.
What I was told, yeah. I guess we can try and get a chat with the man, and he can tell us for himself.
Let's see if we can grab him here. He's got his back to me. I'm just going to sneak up on you. Ron, how's it going? You all right?
Yeah.
Now, am I right in thinking this is your last race weekend? Have I heard correctly?
That's him.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's your last race weekend.
Oh, yes,
your last race weekend. Oh, fantastic.
27 years racing. First race here in 1994.
Yeah.
And my last race shall be here too. So
oh, wow. So this afternoon, last time we must come and find you and have a chat with you. Are you looking forward to
this car? Because my Rover BRM's not fit, unfortunately. It broke down at
that's my confusion then. There we go, yeah.
But Rod's let me use this car for race 2.
Fantastic.
So, back of the grid, but never mind, because I had to qualify out of session. But it's all about the emotions today.
Oh, that's what I like to do. But that's good, though. What a lovely place to finish up as well, eh?
Got my uncle and aunt here. My uncle was here in 94, my first race here as well, so he's come to see me on the last one. That's quite nice.
Fantastic. Enjoy it, won't you? Make the most of it. Thank you very much. Cheers, Rob. Thank you. Yeah, lovely stories, isn't it? Here's Maddie Maguire as well. Come all the way down from Scotland as well, hasn't she? Blazing the Scottish flag on the side. Maddie, how are you doing? It's great to see you again. Are you ready for this one?
Absolutely, definitely.
You got the shades on, you're looking cool.
Qualifying was doing some mechanical issues, so it's a bit intermittent at the moment, but go out there and just give it everything we got.
Do you race in those shades?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're the coolest driver here, by the way, I have to say. Definitely.
You know what? Like on BTCC, you'd run Austin, like Rob Austin looking at that. Yeah, we're going for it. We're keeping the shades.
So I like it. Enjoy the race. Cheers, Maddie. Let's go a little bit further down, shall we, and catch up with some of the minis. Like we said, we've got a cracking grid here of cars. We've got the Mini Libres with us as well, trying the absolute most to stay cool. Here he is. It's Dan Lewis as well. Thank you. Dan, I'm really sorry. You must be trying to keep cool because it's pretty warm today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty hot, yeah.
It's quite nice to be sharing. Is it quite nice to be sharing with the MG Cup cars as well?
Yeah, certainly something different, yeah. Never done before, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Of course, race 1 yesterday. You kind of almost at a bit of a canter, I suppose. Are you looking to make it a double bubble?
Well, it would be nice, but you can never tell with racing. We'll see what happens.
That's why we love the sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go because I know you probably want to stay cool, and I disturbed. Sorry for that. Thank you. Let's keep moving down. Turner was going well as well. Let's grab a quick word. And again, I just feel like I'm getting in the way because everybody's trying to keep cool, and I just keep walking about. Do you want me to? Yeah. Does that help? Are you ready for this one? It's baking today, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, hopefully get a similar result to yesterday.
Fantastic. Look, I'll let you guys crack on anyway. It's almost time actually for the race ahead to finish up. Let's start walking back, shall we? Charles, it's quite unique, isn't it, to have the minis racing with the MG Cup? It's lovely to see it, though, actually, isn't it? It's going to be quite a feast for the eyes, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be interesting to see how they sort of mix together as well. I don't really know which one to expect to be faster. Maybe the minis, but you never know. Maybe the MGs.
Yeah.
The minis, I think, would be a bit lighter, and power to weight might be a little bit better, and I think maybe all-round grip might be a little bit higher as well. So you'd expect them, but no, it's an interesting mix, and I look forward to seeing how they get on together.
Yeah, definitely. Just as we're walking back, of course, looking like the checkered flag has just fallen for the session ahead. Dan Jones, of course, put it on pole position for Class B. Does go great guns, doesn't he? Does Dan Jones, looking to make it. Let's just grab a quick word with Dan. Dan Jones also happens to be one of the tallest men here at Silverstone this weekend. Dan, pole position. You've got plenty of pace in you.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping to just sort of play with some of these faster cars, quick fast cars around me, especially Mr. Birchall. He does such a good job of running the championship. I feel like he needs someone to push him around on the track. So hopefully, it's me.
So it's going to be Jones versus Birchall. You heard it here first.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. Cheers, Dan. Best of luck. So there you go. It's going to be Birchall versus Jones. Fantastic stuff. We're just going to stick around and watch the cars head out on track. We're going to bring you the racing action from a wonderful vantage point. We're going to be at the top of the gantry over the start-finish line. So you're really, really going to get a look at it. Whilst we just hang on, if we could just bring up that qualifying order for the MG Cup once again. Just spoken to the Libre. Remember, we've got a Libre invitation from the Mini 7 Racing Club in this race as well. We just spoke to Dan Lewis, their winner yesterday, looking to make it a pair of wins. ready for this race. And of course, qualifying, Mike Williams on pole position in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Morgan Short alongside him. Would you be quite worried, Charles, if you were Morgan Short right now, thinking, okay, qualifying was 20 minutes, didn't make it to the end. This is a 20-minute race and it's hotter than qualifying now. You're a bit worried about overheating?
I'd be a little concerned, yeah, but I would also probably have a little bit of faith in the mechanics and hope that everything will stick together. I mean, once he's a couple of laps into the race, I think that should give him a good indication about how his day's going to go. Until that point, like he said, he's just opened all the channels up and just hope it's going to work. You would be a little bit concerned, but I think with the pace that car has, even if he did have to back off a little bit, I think a top two or a podium is probably still well within the cards for him. So yeah, it may mean that he may not be able to fight for the race win overall, but I still think a podium would be possible, even if he did have heat issues that didn't completely wipe him out in one go.
So what you're saying is your money's on Mike Williams then in Class C to get the job done?
I'm not sure, you know. I think if Morgan's car can hold together and he can drive as fast as he told us he reckons he can drive around here, I think he'll be a hard man to beat. But Mike's obviously the pole man, and he can hustle that car around the circuit, so it'll be an interesting mix. Right now, honestly, I don't want to choose between the two of them. It could go either way.
What if I asked you to make a prediction, put it on the line, Charles?
I'll tell you what, I was wrong by putting Morgan on pole earlier. He was my pick for pole, so I'm gonna stick with Morgan and say he'll take the race.
Look, for the sake of competition,
be wrong twice in a go.
I'm going to say Williams then, for the sake of competition.
Awesome.
Not based on any knowledge whatsoever, other than just for the sake of, and you've gone for Morgan Short. What about Richard Buckley? I think those Tomcats could go quite well as well. I've got a sneaky feeling we might have a bit of a surprise here for the MG Cup. And of course, the Libre invitation in the Mini 7 Racing Club promises to be I'm just hearing actually what the marshal just saying.
Not long till they need to start thinking about start procedures. Yeah, I think you're right. I think those Tomcats, having the few that they've got there, I think we're potentially in for quite a close battle between them in and of themselves. If they can hold on to the top two and keep within the toe on the first lap or two, I think, yeah, you're right. They could end up having a much bigger scrap than just the top two on their own. But yeah, I think if Morgan and Mike play it smart, maybe use the first lap or first 2 laps to break away and not fight each other, I think people will find it quite hard to catch them. But yeah, no, there's a very strong possibility that the Tomcats can keep on the back of them and mix it up and make the racing even more exciting.
Yeah, of course. Dan Jones obviously on pole position in Class B, and it was Steve Tyler taking pole position in Class A. That's going to be a good battle actually between Steve Tyler and Ian Bolton. What do you think about that? That's going to be quite exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always good when classes can mix. So yeah, Ian obviously in a car that he's put together in the last few weeks,
yes,
and converted from a track car. So I'm sure he's still trying to find his feet in that car, which you know, which puts him not necessarily on the back foot, but it does mean that he's still got some familiarising to do. But I think he did say it was his track day car anyway, so he should know it relatively well.
Yeah.
And yeah, should be in for a good fight between those two.
Fantastic. Now, not long to go until we have race 1 for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. It's actually race 2 for the Mini 7 Racing Cup Libre invitation. So plenty of action to come. If you want to find out more about the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup, there is a link in the body of this text. Just click it and it'll take you to the MG Cup website. Likewise for the Libre invitation. If you like the look of those wonderful, wonderful minis, there's a link to the Mini 7 Racing Club website homepage. Do click them. There's loads and loads and loads of information on there. However, we also see the comments here live as well. So if you do have a comment, if you want to tell us who you're supporting today, if you want us to give a shout out, please do comment below. We can see the comments as well. Let us know who you're supporting. Let us know where you're watching this from as well. Are you at home in the garden? Are you at work today? Where are you and whereabouts in the country or overseas are you watching? We love to know whereabouts we're broadcasting to. We want to say a big hello to all of the MG car clubs we're broadcasting to. Of course, the main MG car club, but we're also broadcasting to MG Car Club South Australia, the Yorkshire Centre, the Anglia Centre, all over the UK and of course the world as well. So welcome wherever you're watching this in the world. It's not too long to go before the engines will fire into life. It's hot here at Silverstone. There's no wind. We're going to get suntans today. Those drivers must be baking in those cars. They really, really must. If we just turn around, actually, Leon, you'll be able to see up into the grandstand. We do have spectators back here today. How nice is this? And there's a few spectators in the grandstand enjoying the day. Nice to see everybody back, isn't it, Charles?
Oh yeah, it's always lovely to be driving around and it not feel like a ghost town. You know, it's fun driving these cars, and you don't have a great deal of time to look around and wave at the crowd until you're on your warm down lap anyway most of the time. But still, like to have a bit more of an atmosphere, to have the fans back, to be able to entertain while you're doing what you love. Brilliant, you know, great, absolutely fantastic. So, if you're sat there wondering the differences between the three classes in the MG Cup, the Class A is basically road legal cars, so it's no different from you going out and if you actually fancied even racing in one of these, it's no different from you actually going out, purchasing a car that's good for the road, putting in some braided brake lines and a roll cage, I'm assuming a fire extinguisher as well, and that's pretty much it. They're pretty much road going cars. I think some of them are even still on the road. And that's what Class A is. Class B, they're slightly more modified, and they're allowed a little bit more. And with Class C, they're heavily modified, so they're basically race spec, so they can tune a vast majority of things. There are obviously limits within the rules, but that does allow a little bit more flexibility for how much how much money you have in your budget and how much racing you want to do. So obviously the people in Class A, and which is so good to see such a big grid in Class A, is the fact that the budget is quite cheap, and the best thing to keep everything level as well from a power and an engine point of view, which I know throughout racing, if you've ever driven or raced anything yourself, it's always frustrating when you see someone, or you think someone's got a faster engine than you or a quicker car in the straights. They all have standardised ECUs in Class A as well. So within every single car, they've all got the same car, and if I've been told that if any driver has an issue or thinks that one car might be particularly faster than the other, they're also given the option to swap ECUs, which is, you know, fantastic. Keeps the racing nice and close, and means everyone's on a level playing field on a very similar budget. And well, what more could you want from racing, basically? Mind us as we're all just getting out of the way of the fire truck at the moment. I'm hoping that's just to go sit in its standby space. So we have two novices on the grid. Stephen Hiley, who's at his third race. He's in a blue 160 in Class A. And Nigel Baston in the MG ZS. I believe there's only two of those cars. They're V6s, and they put out 180 horsepower. And you might be thinking, well, if that Class C car is putting out 180 horsepower, then how come the Metro is only putting out 160 with a VVC engine? So, a bit like VTEC. Well, the reason they're allowed to do that and put them in the same class, and the racing is so close, as we've already seen in qualifying, with only 0.07 of a second between them, is that the MG ZS's, which we can see Morgan driving, weighs around 1,140 kilograms, where the Metro, which Mike put on pole earlier, only weighs 860. So power to weight clearly works out to be roughly the same thing. Leaves it down to the driver and seeing how well they can hustle either a larger or a smaller car through the corners. That's essentially it. it's nice to see nice full grid.
Thank you for that, Charles. Wonderful stuff, great information. There, yeah, just a bit of a lengthier delay than we thought there was going to be, isn't there? And we're just waiting to see. We just had one of the equipped GTS groups going out, didn't we? And I think we did have a safety car, didn't we? So clearly people being picked up and moved about, ready to get going. It shouldn't be too much longer. You are looking at the assembly area here at Silverstone. We want to know who you think is going to win outright for the MG Cup. And if you're watching and interested about the Libre Invitational with the Mini 7 Racing Club, tell us, is Dan Lewis going to get the job done again? It's going to be a close racing action. If you tuned in a little bit earlier, we had the second race for the Mini Miglias, the Mini 7s and the S-Class as well. And boy, oh boy, Charles, was that entertaining, wasn't it? Wow. Yes. That was Aaron Smith got the job done. Outright there for the Mini Miglias. It was incredibly close. Michael Winkworth picking up the honours in the S-Class. And just bear with me, and just so I can refresh my memory as to who picked up the Mini 7 class. Yes, it was Jonathan Lewis, of course, an emotional Jonathan Lewis as well. If you haven't seen it, do go back and watch it. All the action that we've been covering for the Mini 7 Racing Club is on the Mini 7 Racing Club Facebook page. If you like to watch it in YouTube, do head over to My Supercar or Live Sport Now. We're broadcasting to both pages, and you can watch all the action in high definition on YouTube. Do hit subscribe as well if you love your motorsport, because you can watch all of our live motorsport in 2021 on My Supercar and Live Sport Now. So Charles, you're a racer yourself, of course. What's your plans for this year?
I plan on doing 3 rounds in the MX5 Championship with the BRSCC.
Fantastic.
I've raced with the 750 Motor Club before in the past. Loved every minute of it. And this year I was just like, well, if I'm only doing 3 rounds, I've got a new team, driving a new car that I've not driven before. I've not raced the MX5s before. And I thought, well, why not completely mix it up and try new everything? And just sort of take a year to, well, try to take stock and try to almost set myself up for a full season in something next year.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the plan is I'm doing 3 rounds in the Mark 1 MX5 Championship, and I've decided to pick Anglesey, which is next month.
Yep.
Cadwell, which is the month after, and Donington, which is in September. So yeah, not the most busy of years for me, unfortunately, but it does mean I've picked 3 of my favourite circuits in the UK, and I will undoubtedly get to drive around them in anger, which is something I'm very much missing at this moment in time.
With the BRSCC, and of course next year with either the MG Car Club or the Mini 7 Racing Club, is that what you're saying?
I cannot confirm nor deny anything at this current moment in time.
Well, I hope you've been suitably impressed with what you've seen with the MG Car Club and of course the Mini 7 Racing Club. I know I certainly have, and there's still plenty of action to bring you here live at Silverstone. Like I said, it's race 1 for the vehicle, Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup, and it's race 2 for the Mini 7 Libre Invitational. So quite a lot to get our mouths around, actually, isn't there? Because it's not just different classes this time. We've actually got 2 different series. One about to have the first race, one about to have their second race, all in one race. So if that makes any sense whatsoever, I hope
and you're smarter men than either of us.
Then, it doesn't take much, does it, to be fair? So, but there we go.
What are you trying to say?
Absolutely nothing at all. Absolutely nothing at all. We are going to broadcast as well live from the gantry, aren't we? We're going to go over the start-finish line as well. We've been very kindly granted permission to broadcast right from the top, and I can tell you it's such a treat up there. You are in for a motorsport feast. A hive of activity here at Silverstone. We're on the GP circuit, but we are based down at the national pits here, and I prefer it personally. I think it's quite nostalgic, quite historic, and considering we have the wing over at Silverstone. In fact, if you look over to your right, you might just be able to see the top of the wing. That's obviously the new facility here at Silverstone. Well, I say new, it's not that new anymore, is it? But it's sort of state-of-the-art facility. They're building a brand new corporate sort of facility opposite. A hotel's going to be there as well. It's probably going to cost about £10 million a night whilst the Grand Prix is on, and you know, that's just... Oh, and here we go, and the 1 minute ball goes up, so it looks like it is time, finally, we're going to get underway for the Cherish Vehicle Insurance MG Cup and, of course, the Mini Summer Racing Cup Libre Invitation. We're going to bring it all for you live as well. You're in for an absolute treat.
I hope none of those drivers have fallen asleep in those cars, because it's been a long wait on a hot day. So,
well, they've probably all lost a bit of weight just from sweating in the last 20 minutes that we've been live. We thought we were clever by getting here just on time, and you can never call it in motorsport, can you? It's completely random. Sometimes it works in your favour, sometimes it doesn't. But we hope you've enjoyed whilst we have been filling. Anyway, out goes Mike Williams, the man who's going to start in pole position. There is Morgan Short. This waiting won't have done his overheating issues any good at all. Out goes Matthew Simpson there. There's Peter Birchall, Dan Jones, the man on pole position in Class B. Dan giving us the thumbs up. And you couldn't make it up because you've been told to wait again. Something's going on here. We've just, safety car's just stopped. It's not a service vehicle coming down, and off they go. A bit of a strange happening there. Has that ever happened to you, Charles?
No, I don't recall trying to follow a safety car that then just stops on its way out. Whether the man in the safety car got some new information from race control, or whether for some reason he just hit the wrong button inside there. Who knows?
We get a few thumbs up and waves for the drivers, out they go.
Yeah, all that matters is we're on the way now, and we can get going.
Right, time for us. We're going to get ourselves up to the gantry. Whilst we walk over, I promise you we're not going to leave you to just stare at the back of our heads, because that's not much fun for anybody. We're going to walk up to the pit lane, get ourselves into position so we can catch the start of this race and bring you all of the commentary and the action as it happens, so stay with us. But before we get there, of course, we've got a bit of a walk. We did have a quick chat, didn't we, Charles? You and I went for a little paddock walk earlier.
We did, yeah.
Just to catch up with some of the Cherish Vehicle Insurance MG Cup drivers. And here's what they had to say. Elaine, if you could play the VT. You did all right in qualifying, actually. Do you think is there more pace?
It wasn't too, well, it could be, if I can learn how to drive the thing. I'd actually put it through Vale, if I can get that right. There's a plenty in there.
Yeah.
And, well, the two sharp left-handers, well,
Yeah.
and obviously coming into Vale, then out the fast bit, out the new complex. If I can get those two bits right, there's probably second half of...
I did see during qualifying at one point, I think you had Mike Williams in front of you, but you were powering onto the start-finish line, and the speed difference for you to him in your favour was wonderful. So the power is there, isn't
the
it?
power's there, yeah, but obviously so much heavier.
Yeah.
So much heavier, and I keep going too quick into the corners. I just need to slow down to go faster, I think.
Slow down to go faster.
Yeah, it sounds mad, but it does work sometimes.
It does sound
mad.
Richard, those to talk to. Best of luck. Look at this glorious blue, the sun's shining, it's a lovely day.
It's changed, didn't it?
I've normally got a brolly with me, haven't I? In fact, I'm moaning today because it's too
hot. Yeah.
What's it like? How are the cars coping?
The cars are fine, actually. We came testing on Friday. I'm not sure whether we're as quick as we were in testing. It's a bit cool on Friday.
Yeah.
But they're going all right. The car's fine. I'm back in mine just for this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Because Jago's racing his Ferrari at Donington. You know, why not? If you've got one, why not? When you choose Ferrari ZR.
I think he's letting the team down.
He is letting the team down, but they have allowed me to go with his number, so we're making the points up. So if we do well today, and we put it first in class. So if I can stay there, I'm doing him a favour, really.
Yes.
But it was nice for him to give me the car back for a day.
It certainly is. Is it nice to be back out then?
It actually is quite good fun, yeah. We came here on Friday with Stephen's car. Stephen went and got some runs in, and I went out for a few laps just to get acquainted, especially with Vale, because they've changed it this year. Apart from that, you're all good. It's probably about 6 degrees in the car, I reckon, when you're in there, strapped in with layers and helmet and all that stuff on. But no, it's all good. Car's running good. I went faster than Friday, just about. Stephen's gone much faster than Friday, which is good. So he's third in class.
Brilliant.
And we're amongst the Class Bs. There's a couple of Class Cs in there as well.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting. As long as I don't mind the heat. I don't mind.
I don't think the weather's going to change. I mean,
no, it's not. It's a bit uncomfortable at times, but when you race, you don't notice.
You don't notice
You're
it,
too switched on.
Top man, of course.
How are you finding? Sorry, Ian. How are
go
you
ahead.
finding the grip levels out there?
I thought they were all right. Someone said I was getting a bit slippery at times when I overheat, but
okay.
Our fastest lap was on lap 7 of 8, or 6 of 7, whatever it was. So no, nothing. I think we got it right. And we haven't made a mistake yet. Maybe in race 1 we'll go completely the wrong way with tyre pressures or whatever. But
you won't.
Do you think there's a potential of too much grip coming in by the end of the day with all the rubber going down, or
maybe.
do you think?
Yeah, maybe it's going to. I don't know what the weather's like at 4 o'clock, but probably still hot. I would think. Yeah, no, should be okay. Should be okay. As long as the cars get back in one piece. And we don't do it, we don't embarrass ourselves.
You won't, you never do, and you've got a smile on your face, haven't you?
Oh, I know, it's been a while since I've been back here, so it's quite good fun. 2018 I was here, and we did all right, but nothing spectacular, so yeah, looking for better things this year.
Top man, look, I'll let you crack on and get yourselves ready. Right, welcome back everybody. As you can see, what a view we've got here for the action. We've just heard a report that actually one of the cars is going round and it's got a fire underneath it as well. So as soon as we get more information, we'll bring that to you. As we said, they've been waiting a long time in that assembly area, haven't they? It certainly won't have helped matters. It looks like they're about to come round now onto the start-finish line. Doesn't look like it's going to delay anything.
Reports say that car is pulled off to one side, so hopefully he's found a nice hole in the fence and
well, let's see who's missing. That's the hooter right next to our ear. Start delayed. Okay, we've got a start has been delayed. A board has just gone up, so the cars are going to be held on the grid. We do apologise for this if you're looking for this to get going. That was what the hooter sounding was. The start will be delayed whilst they look after whatever car it was. It's not Matthew Simpson, it's not Morgan Short, it's not Mike Williams, it's not Richard Buckley, it's not Peter Burchill. Charles, can I just give you that? Do you mind if I just nip through just so I can get up high, just so I can have a little look, just to see who I think it might be. Alright, I'm seeing both Tomcats. I'm seeing all 4 of the Tomcats, so it's not those. It's not one of the minis, is it? I hope not. Well, I hope it's...
By the looks of it, Ian, I think it could be one of the minis.
Yeah, I think unfortunately you may be right there.
There's a driver with his door open on the 3rd row, Ian.
That's Peter Burchill. I think he's just trying to cool down, I think that's all. Richard Buckley's now doing the same. So Mike Williams on pole, Morgan Short in 2nd, Richard Buckley in 3rd. Okay, lovely, thank you. We're going on another green flag lap, what we're hearing. So the cars are going to circulate one more time. So I'm just trying to look. So we've got Sir Richard Buckley, we've got Matthew Simpson, we've got Peter Burchill, we've got Dan Jones, we've got Kaylee Twigger, we've got Dave Harrison, we have Steve Tyler, we've got Ian Bolton, we've got Rod. We do have Rod Weston Bartholomew. We've got Craig Baston, 32 Steve Hiley. We've got Mandy Maguire, we've got John Gill, and we have Chris Whitewick. So yeah, it is unfortunate. I think we have one of the Libre invitation in the Mini 7 Racing Club cars. I'm not too sure who it is. As soon as we get more information, we'll let you know. But it looks like, unfortunately, we've lost one of the Minis already. Cars are going to go down round and do another formation lap just to get themselves ready. It's a sensible thing to do, isn't it, Charles?
Yeah.
It is it's baking hot. We're not going to complain about it because it's nice to have the weather, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's definitely a sensible thing to do. I mean, you want to make sure that the engines aren't overheating while they've been sat on the grid for so long, and the tyres and the brakes are still up to temperature for the dive into turn 1. Although it could become an extremely important factor in this race, Ian, because, well, if the race doesn't last as long as it otherwise would have done, cars that could have potentially or may even potentially overheat towards the end of the race may not now, because the race is just that little bit shorter.
So this could play into Morgan Short's hands a little bit here, is what we're saying, because it was Morgan who we thought might have the overheating issues.
Morgan and the turbos, yeah. I know the turbo drivers were particularly anxious about the heat as well. So, yeah, those boys probably not laughing inside those helmets, but I don't think they're going to be too upset that, you know, they'll be missing a lap.
Yeah. So we've got a little bit more time to kill. I think we've been live. This is the thing about motorsport, isn't it, Charles? We've been live probably about half an hour now. We haven't actually seen any on-track action for the race 1 for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup and race 2 for the Mini 7 Racing Cup Libre Invitation. But it is motorsport and it's got to be safe, isn't it? We've got to take these precautions. We've got to get it right, because the last thing we want to do is have any silly accidents. Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, motorsport is getting safer and safer, you know, by the year almost, which is brilliant to know. But by any means, motorsport will never be fully safe. I think a lot of people nowadays, especially, take it for granted. You go back, maybe even 10, 20 years, and accidents and things could become a lot more serious very quickly. So. Yeah, it's safety's not something to be messed around with, and the marshals here and the clerks in the course and everything do an amazing job to make sure that everything's done the best way possible. Absolutely. Whilst we're just waiting, let's just bring that qualifying riding order up onto the screen for you again, just so you can have a little look for yourself and see. It is, of course, Mike Williams on pole position. Alongside him is Morgan Short. A bit of a funny pole position here at Silverstone for these, because there's actually nothing between them, is there really? Although Mike will slightly have the slightly grippier side. I don't think it would make a big difference if Morgan was on pole. In his own words, Mike would get him at the line anyway, because that Metro is so lightweight compared to his heavyweight MG-ZR there. So even if he had snatched pole position, I think he would have been totally honest and said, well, Mike will lead into the first corner. Unless, of course, he has a bad start, and that will throw a complete curveball into things. It definitely would. I mean, yeah, I think Morgan's given away about 300 odd kilo, which makes a massive difference, obviously, with acceleration. So about what I pushing in the gym, I think. Oh, is it? Yeah. I heard it was 350 last time I checked. Yeah. Pounds. Oh, okay. I was thinking like nanograms, but yeah, that works. So, all starting to line up on the grid now. Yeah, they're back now, so fingers crossed we'll get things underway this time around. Less of our bad jokes and more motorsport action. Yeah, nobody wants to listen to our terrible jokes. Well, some people might. If you enjoy my terrible jokes, comment below. That's very interesting. Morgan's lined up very close alongside Mike on the front row of the grid, so I think he's looking to try to squeeze him as much as he can towards turn 1. He really has, isn't he? Is that a psychological thing, or has he just done that because he's been told to? Partly it'd be psychological. I don't think he'd have done it because he's been told to. I think he's probably done it to try and get closer to the racing line and give himself a little bit more rubber under his wheels for when he tries to launch. Trying to give himself the best start possible and put himself in the best position ready for cops. Okay, here we go. Red lights are on and off we go. And it's a very good start by Morgan. That's been like Mike into the lead early on in this race. We're just waiting for the minis to go. They've just been held back. I think it's about 10 seconds because of the heat. Everybody's round the first corner safely. And here we go, we're getting ready for the Libre Invitation for the Mini 7 Racing Club. Here we go, and it's lights out. The Union Jack has fallen, off we go. And it's a great start, it's a good start by Dan Lewis as well. We've got Jack alongside him. Getting Frank and Lewis toe-to-toe into the first corner. And I think Lewis takes the lead of the race. race round the first corner there. Wow, incredible stuff. It looked like Morgan Hay had that initial power off the line, didn't he? And then as soon as he changed gear though, Mike boom, just whipped straight back through again, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Morgan definitely had a good start, and I think he pretty much got what he wanted out of that start, in the sense of he didn't allow Mike to come over on him or cover him off. They were mostly side by side, I think, pretty much all the way to turn 1. Just getting that heavier car off the line, I think, was pretty impressive there by Morgan. Mike did well. I think his initial getaway wasn't brilliant, but then, like you said, as soon as they got into second, he was away.
Yeah, away he certainly was, wasn't he? And let me just bring up TSL. It's going to be an interesting race, isn't it? It's going to be a dice between the two, Mike Williams and Morgan Short, and it's going to be a dice between Lewis and Franks, I think, in the Libre invitation in the Mini 7 Racing Club as well. Don't go anywhere. Pop this down. So we're just waiting for the action. That's a long lap actually the first time round, isn't it, Charles? It's the Grand Prix circuit. Here we are in the national pits though.
Yeah, we were seeing what, 2 minute 35 was roughly the pole time, so you can probably assume a good, what, 2 minute 40, 2 minute 45, something like that for the first time round.
I think so. I think a few drivers might be a bit tentative as well after having to wait a long time. They've been out actually of the paddock for a long time now, including waiting in assembly area, and there's no shade in assembly area either. So the sun really is being beating down quite heavy.
Yeah, and this heat can take its toll on a driver. You're wearing best part of 3 layers of Nomex fireproof overalls and underwear and everything else, and they are just starting to come around the final corner now.
Oh, and I think Morgan Short has lost a bit of time here. I think Morgan Short has lost some time. I think we're going to see Mike Williams coming around. There he is. Mike Williams, your race leader. What's happened to Morgan Short? Because Richard Buckley's in second place. Simpson is in third, and there is Morgan Short in fourth place. Big drama on the opening lap. He overcomes Peter Birchall here. Peter Birchall over the line in fifth place. There's Dan Jones, Class B, going very, very well indeed. There's Dave Harrison. And Baston going very well as well. We've got a couple of Class A cars. There's Katie Trigger. Look, there is Dan Lewis in the Mini Libre. Absolutely mixing it as well. So's Franks as well. That could have a big impact on the race. Here comes the rest of the Libre invitations in the Mini 7 Racing Club. Great stuff as they're going round the first corner here at Silverstone.
Yeah, a little lock up from one of the Minis there going into the first corner, but as predicted, even with that 10-second head start, the Minis are already catching the MGs. So I think that they will probably overtake all of them by the time we get to the end of this race. I think, and I might be wrong, I think Morgan might have had some contact on that first lap because his bonnet does not seem to be as attached as it was when he set off from the grid.
Okay.
It seemed like it was loose.
Let's check the back of Mike Williams' car and see if there's any damage there. And just to clarify, I think it was Cox, 2:32 in the Libre invitation. Cox, unfortunately, couldn't take the start of this race. That's a shame because Cox has been strong all weekend with the Mini 7 Racing Club. What a start. What do you think of that? Comment below. Tell us, what did you make of that start? Are you happy with the driver you're supporting? Do you think they had a good go off the line there? I'll get my words out. I just get so overexcited, Charles. How can you not? I mean, we've got this wonderful view up here again. Those of you just tuning in, welcome. We've got 2 races essentially going on. Well, actually, if you include all the classes, we've actually got 4 races going on.
Yeah, exactly. 4 races, all at the same time. No one knows where to be looking. But yeah, I think keep your eye out for Morgan's bonnet this time round because it did not seem to be battened down. So if that thing's coming loose, he may even have to prematurely end his race because you don't want that coming up as you're coming down hanger straight at 100 and something odd mile an hour.
Well, it might be safer to get in the pits, mightn't it, and just get it down. Okay, it'll end his it'll end his chance of winning, but he could get out and track and maybe
score
there
some
is another
points.
Race today, don't forget, for the Chelsea Insurance MG Cup. So the last thing you want to do is ruin your race weekend right now in race 1, is it? So
yeah,
who knows? Let's find out what is going to happen. They're about to appear back in our screen. There is Mike Williams, your race leader. He's got it at a bit of a canter at the minute, hasn't he? We don't have the big battle that we were kind of hoping for, and Morgan Short has disappeared from the party completely. And he's in the pits. Morgan Short into the pits. There he goes. You're absolutely right. That promotes Peter Birchall up to a fourth place. Dan Jones running very well in Class B as well, but look, here comes Lewis as well in that Mini Libre. Absolutely flying, isn't he? There's Dave Harrison, there goes Frank in the Libre. Plenty of action going on in the midfield, isn't there? The Minis have caught up to the Class B and C cars already of the MG Cup, is what I'm trying to say. There is Morgan Short.
Yeah, as much as I like being right here, and that's a real shame for Morgan.
Charles, I'm wondering, would you fancy running down so you can grab a word with Morgan?
I definitely will, and
good luck.
Yeah, it's a real shame. We were looking forward to a real great scrap between those two.
So the bonnet is up. I wonder if it's overheating. I wonder what it is. There's clearly a big issue. I think I can see whispers of smoke coming up as well. And what a shame that is for Morgan Short. Let's hope he can get everything sorted for race 2.
Okay. No worries. By the looks of it, it seems to be an overheating problem, Ian.
Very equally matched.
He looks absolutely devastated, doesn't he, Morgan? Look at that. There's smoke wisping its way up from the engine there. A few people here. Danny Bowman, so watching from the left field grandstand. Hi, Danny. So is Tracy. Hello, Tracy. Lisa Twigger watching from Nottingham, of course, supporting Kaylee. Big hello to all of the Twigger family. Here comes Mike Williams back over the line, and he's got a big lead, hasn't he? In the Cherish Vehicle Insurance MG Cup in the C class. Richard Buckley, though, and Matthew Simpson going toe-to-toe. That's going to be a dicey battle throughout this race. And Peter Birchall up to fourth place. Dan Lewis in the Mini Libre. You might not be able to see on camera, see quite a lot of blue smoke coming out the back of Lewis's Mini there. So everything's okay. Frank's coming down, trying to take advantage. Here goes Harvey as well in third place in the Libre Invitational class, just making a move on Dan Jones in the MG Cup.
Temperatures, we had obviously an issue in quali. They got too hot and the engine started to go. We don't even know what particularly caused it. There was a slight leak in the coolant cap. We've got a new cap on it. We've tried to improve the cooling. We've put loads of vents and everything to try and put all the water towards the radiator, but to no avail. The temperature's just gone through the roof. I just thought there's no point carrying on because this is what happened last time. So, you know, it was a good race. Well, it wasn't a good race because at the start, Richard Buckley dived up my inside, I had nowhere to go. I got Williams on my outside, I'm going through cops, he spun around. I was 90 degrees through cops. Somehow I saved it and kept going behind those two, catching them in the corners, and then those turbos kick in and they're gone down the straights. And then obviously I see Mike going up in the distance, and then I'm looking at my temperature, it's going up. I'm like, okay, please stay at 3/4, stay at 3/4, and then it goes up and up and up. And then I come round, I'm behind Matt and Richard, and I'm like, I'm getting fed up, and I look down and I see the temperature's just gone through the roof. So come in before anything went off, but you know.
Heartbreaking. So other than the contact of turn 1, was there any contact with the front of the car? Because when you came across the line, the bonnet seemed to be part open.
They said that I think it may be something to do with the bumper being damaged from Olsen Park, or the bonnet should be fine, unless, you know, maybe I don't know, it should be fine. It was all clipped down. Okay. There was no contact at the front, it was just that contact from the rear from he properly clouted me. Obviously it doesn't look like any damage, but it's, yeah, that's it. Not much, but
enough when you're at those speeds to just not...
Yeah, it's completely sideways. I don't know how I saved it. I thought that was over. So I was relatively happy to be back behind them. Was side by side with Matt a couple of times, but as soon as he gets the power down, he can just go off on his own down the straight. Him and Richard were battling. I'd be right on the straights, get right back on them in the corners, but you know, I wasn't getting past them without any, you know, if they took each other out or one of them had an incident. So it was frustrating from the very beginning and very, very frustrating ending. It looks like we probably won't be racing this afternoon, which is probably goodbye to the championship, which is...
That's a real shame. I'm sorry about that, mate. So, I've been in a similar situation myself, and it's never a fun time. So I completely thank you for giving me the interview. You probably don't.
A moment ago, yeah, it wouldn't have been a good time, but you know.
That's fine. I completely understand. Trust me. Yeah, well, hopefully the race this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the radio is crap.
Okay.
The one we used at Alton, that's not big dents in it, so you know that lasted 2 laps at Alton to take the win, but I don't think this. Right, I don't think it's any.
That is not what we want to see, but if you get a car out for race 2, still plenty of time to go. I can tell you actually, it's Dan Lewis, the fastest man out on the track in the Mini Libres, the overall fastest man, a 2:37.448. Mike Williams in the Metro, fastest lap of a 2:37.514. It's Buckley in second, Simpson in third. Lewis is fourth on track, but of course he's first in the Mini 7 Racing Club Libre Invitation. Peter Birchall in fifth, but fourth, of course, of all the MG Cup. I'm just going to run through in total order for you. Remember, we're mixing the MG Cup and the Libre Invitation. So we've got Williams, Buckley, Simpson, Lewis, Birchall, Frank, Deff, Jones, Turner, Dickinson, Harrison, Stanton, Twigger, Baston, Tyler, Weston, Bartholomew, Bolton, Gill, Maguire, Hiley, Whitewick, Short, of course, as we can see, out of the race, as is Cox, 2:32 in the Libre Invitation. Didn't take the start, unfortunately. Charles Boniface is back with me. Charles, thank you for running down. I didn't actually hear what was said. What was just overheating, or was the contact?
Heartbreaking there from Morgan. A bit of both, unfortunately. So he got a decent start alongside Mike, and he was then hit coming through turn 1 and in the rear quarter panel, which put him 90 degrees sideways. That was enough to make him lose ground going next to the turbos, and they just started to pull away from him on the straights. Then, by the time he got back going again, the temperature gauge just kept going up and up and up, and overheating, and that's why he's brought it in. Unfortunately, just the overheating problem that they thought had been solved hasn't been.
Yeah.
That potentially puts the end of it. They're a little bit doubtful on whether they'll make it out this afternoon. Fingers crossed that they do. But yeah, absolutely heartbreaking there from Morgan. So yeah, hopefully I'll get back out this afternoon. But
let's hope so. Real shame there, but it is plenty of on-track action. Dan Lewis, your leader in the Libre Invitation. We just saw Franks coming over the line in second place as well. It looks like plenty still to go at the minute. So we've still got 6 minutes of this race left to go. It's action-packed. It's intense. The track is absolutely baking hot. The drivers will be sweating like you wouldn't believe in there. But they're on track. Here comes Dave Harrison with Katie Twigger right behind him as well. Those two have been having a season-long battle, and that's what we like to see. There goes 1-3-3. That's Stanton just over the start-finish line in the Libre Invitation, going around the first corner. And a bit of movement here. We've got in Class A. We've got Baston there as well, having a good old tussle into turn 1 in the Church Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. 3 classes, of course, A, B and C. C class, the fastest cars for the MG Cup, and we're delighted to say we're joined by the Libre Invitation for the Mini 7 Racing Club as well. Dan Lewis is in the lead at the minute, but Franks is keeping him honest. It's not a done deal yet, still with 5 minutes to go. It's what we love about motorsport. Absolutely anything can happen. We saw a dramatic start doing the week. It just hasn't gone Morgan Short's way so far. There goes Stephen Hiley over the line, car number 32, also in Class A in the Church Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. On the Grand Prix circuit, so once they start to space out, Charles, there's quite a bit of action normally happens, doesn't it? As I say that, the track's completely empty right in front of us. Couldn't make it up, could you?
No, it's just perfect timing, sod's law right there. Yeah, there's usually a fair bit of action. Usually around here you get a fair bit of grouping as well, especially with the slipstreaming and that down the straights. It becomes quite a powerful tool. So normally you see groups of anywhere between 3 and 8 cars I've seen, maybe even more than that. One just long train of people.
One thing I'm impressed with is Mike Williams, your MG Cup outright race leader, comes into a shot. Is the speed of these minis as well. Lewis and Franks, first and second place in the Libres. They're actually running 4th and 5th overall on track. There was a good 11 to 15 second gap between them and the MG Cup going out, and then caught them up. But the second corner, Lewis has posted the fastest lap of the race overall, 2:37.448. So the Mini Libre is absolutely flying around here. And here they come into your screen. I don't believe this. It's for the race lead as well, I believe. What has happened? That's Lewis and Franks takes the lead in the race. Has Lewis got a problem?
I see some puffs of blue smoke coming out the back of that orange Mini.
Lewis has had that for a while, so is that now starting to come and cause a few issues? That looked like Franks took the lead of the race in the Mini Libre Invitational. Wow! Big drama here. You just can't take your eyes off it. You never know what's going to happen.
I'm quite impressed actually in the times between how close the Minis and the MGs actually are. As I said when we were walking up and down in the paddock area earlier, I generally I thought the Minis may be potentially the faster car, but no, we're pretty close on times, and that's quite impressive.
Yeah, it is. It's great stuff, isn't it? David Franks, the man on the move in the Mini 7 Racing Club Libre Invitation. Really gunning for this one, isn't he? Wow. We're going to have big drama. 2.5 minutes of this race left to go. We're here over the start-finish line. You'll see it as the checkered flag falls. There is Maddie Maguire coming into our shot now, car number 23 in the B class in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. We had a chat with her, didn't we? Blue wheels, a little bit of pink trim, gold and black. That's some livery, isn't it?
Oh yeah, she's definitely, picking some good colours for that car. But
and it's nice
I think
when people
she's
do
driving
that,
it quite well as well.
It helps us as commentators, doesn't it, when they do that?
It definitely does. Where is she in the standings at the moment in class?
She's 19th in total. In class is a great question. 19th, that includes the Libres as well. We have a total of 22 cars out on the track, a mix of the MG Cup and the Libre Invitation cars. Mike Williams, he's got a 14-second lead in this race. He'll be on his penultimate lap.
I think it's only Maddie's second race in this series, so still getting to grips with it, and seems to be doing quite well, to be fair to her.
So here comes Mike Williams coming over the line to start his final lap of the race, and unfortunately with the Morgan Short retirement, he's kind of had it all his own way, hasn't he? It must be quite lonely for him out there. He certainly wasn't lonely at Alton Park. They had some big battles. Richard Buckley and Matthew Simpson in second and third respectively, coming over the line on to their final laps. Will Simpson make a last gas move maybe on Buckley?
Well, he's definitely keeping him honest for the moment.
And here they come. Here's the Libre Invitation. David Franks has the lead of the race. Lewis in second place. Is it going to stay that way? It's the final lap of the race here. Harvey in third place in the Libre Invitation. Peter Birchall coming over the line in the MG Cup Class C. He's running in fourth place. Here comes Death and Turner. 283 and 123 in the Libre Invitation. They're fourth and fifth respectively.
It's definitely going to be an interesting fast lap for the Minis.
Oh, isn't it just? And Dave Harrison, look, having a good go. He's got speed. Get past Dan Jones. I must hasten to add, they are in different classes, but it is still part of the MG Cup, so it'll be quite satisfying for the Tomcats to get past Dan Jones. But Dan Jones is likely, very likely, that he is going to pick up another Class B win in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. And here's a bit of drama as well.
Are we going to go 3 abreast into turn 1?
That's a Whitewick just getting out of the way, I think. Baston getting the move on Tyler. Again, Baston in Class C, though. Tyler going to pick up the Class A honours.
He's gone down the inside, but he's hanging it round the outside. I can't quite see who's got in front. We'll find out when they come round.
We certainly will, and the clock has run down, so the checkered flag will appear next time we see Mike Williams. It's been probably the most comfortable of comfortable victories you can have, hasn't it, really, Charles? It's been a bit of a standard run to the flag for him, really. Unfortunately, losing Morgan Short so early on in the race.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not been all plain sailing inside that car. I doubt he's not pushing in there, but I think he's probably just kept himself at a nice, comfortable pace to keep the car in one piece after he built the gap, and yeah, just having fun in there himself and not having to worry too much about anything else.
That's it, just take it home, and he's certainly doing that, isn't he? It's still Lewis, though, who's second in Libre Invitation, has the fastest lap in total, 2:37.448. How is that going to finish? There is Mike Williams, and he takes the checkered flag and wins once again. The arms out the window. Mike Williams picks up the Class C honours in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Now, I want to know, who is it going to be? Buckley or Simpson for second place in the MG Cup? And what about the minis? And it's Simpson!
It is Simpson.
It is Simpson. Simpson's got past. And Simpson takes second place. Buckley comes home in third. And it is David Franks who wins in the Libre Invitation. What's happened to Dan Lewis? What has happened to Lewis?
We did keep saying we kept seeing some blue smoke.
We did keep seeing blue smoke. Has there been huge drama with the Libras?
Is that him coming now?
Is that Harvey? That's Harvey, isn't it? So Harvey comes home in second place. Peter Birchall comes home in fourth in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. And it looks like it is going to be Def who comes home in third place. We've lost Lewis, unfortunately. Something's happened to Lewis at the end of this race. What a shame that is.
Putting in the pit lane.
Oh, and there is Dan Lewis, so you can just see him coming into the pit lane just as Dave Harrison comes over the start-finish line. He did get past Dan Jones in the MG Cup. Katie Twiggy coming over the line as well. Oh, huge drama right at the end of this race, and that's what we like to see, isn't it? This is motorsport, this is exciting, you can't take your eyes off it, it's never over until it's over. And that's the beauty of not just motorsport, but all sport, isn't it? Here comes Baston over the line, did get past Tyler in the end. Of course, just to remember, Baston Class C though, of course. And looks like Steve Tyler's going to pick up the Class A honours in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. And there's Rob Wesley Bartholomew coming over the line. And there's Ian Bolton as well.
If I had to put any money on it, Ian, I reckon Simpson probably got Buckley along the hanger straight and into Stowe.
Exciting stuff, wasn't it? Let's go see if we can get a word with them. We're going to head down now to Parc Ferme because they're going to be coming pretty quick. Elaine, if you could just pop up TSL onto the screen so everybody can just have a look at how this thrilling race 1 for the MG Cup, but race 2 for the Mini Libres has finished here at Silverstone. Dan Lewis just about to come back past us. I'm going to see if I can grab a quick word with him. Dan, what happened, mate?
I just lost oil pressure, so I thought it best to save it rather than risk a finish.
Makes sense, doesn't it? It was a great race. There was a bit of blue smoke coming out of the car throughout, so...
Had a leak, and I think just running out of oil.
Yeah, all right, mate, I'll let you get back anyway. Thanks for stopping and talking to us. What a shame, an oil leak, unfortunately. Just losing oil. It wasn't worth the risk, and rightly so as well. Let's start walking back down to Parc Ferme. Probably caught you off guard a little bit there as well. If we just pop up the TSL once again, just so everybody can have another little look. Yeah, just grab a quick word with Dan Lewis. Unfortunately, he was leading the race. He had a comfortable lead, didn't he? But, well, I say comfortable. David Franks was keeping him honest, wasn't he, throughout? He wasn't letting him let up. And it looks like that bit of pressure might have ended up working in his favour because it did force Dan Lewis to think better of keep going, pull it in. Last thing you want to do is wreck the engine because you've got no oil in it.
Well, exactly. And again, it could be something that the delayed start and everything could have come into play again. You don't know. Maybe if we'd have gone out on time and started on time with no extra laps or anything, there might have been enough time for the oil to stay in, at least enough to get him across the finish line. But yeah, so it just goes to show, like, the smallest things can have quite big knock-on effects.
Yeah, absolutely. A real shame for Dan Lewis, but big congratulations, of course, to Mike Williams for his victory in the MG Cup as well. Dan Jones taking Class B honours, and I believe it was Steve Tyler who took Class A honours. We will obviously get that clarified for you. And a big congratulations to David Franks, of course, for picking up the win in the Libre Invitation. What a pleasure it was to have the Minis and the MG Cups going together. They certainly picked up quite nicely, didn't they? And here comes Mike Williams. We'll grab a quick word of him in Parc Ferme. He was certainly concerned about losing speed, wasn't he, down the straights? It certainly didn't work out that way. This man is going to be very happy as well.
Come out the way.
We're going to go get the Minis because unfortunately I think the MG Cup cars have just gone straight through. Oh, Peter Birchall's going to join us down here. Let's go grab a word with, I'm going to grab a word with David Franks picking up the win there. Of course, keeping the pressure on, wasn't he, Dan Lewis throughout the race.
Very impressive.
David, congratulations. You kept the pressure on, didn't you? I mean, Dan, he had a little bit of a gap, but I think that pressure might have told because you kept forcing him to keep going.
Yeah.
And he was just running out of oil in the end.
That's
so
it,
well
just
done.
keep the pressure on, let him do the mistakes, play the safe game was the idea, really.
Yeah.
There was no way I was going to take him. He's too quick, but play the safe game, you've got to wish for a breakdown, that's what happened.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Well done, congratulations. What a way to end the weekend for you, huh?
Thank you, everyone.
Top man. Let's grab a quick chat with Mr. Harvey over here as well. Pressure tells, doesn't it? It's hot out there, it's humid, but you keep going. You never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't know. I'm amazed to finish second.
What was it like
to finish, actually?
Yeah.
I've had loads of dumb finishes.
So this is a great way, a nice second place finish, a wonderful way to end the weekend. What was it like behind the wheel? How hot was it in there?
Oh, I'm sweating buckets.
Yeah.
I need to cool down now.
Shall I shut up and let you go and get your helmet off and relax a little bit, shall I? Let's go see if we grab a quick word with some of the MG Cup cars as well, because they do seem to have just pulled into Parc Ferme here. Dave, that was an exciting race, wasn't it? You having a bit of a battle with a few people out there as well?
Yeah, it was good. I didn't get a chance to read the book, but it was good, you know.
It certainly was. I can feel the heat coming out of it. That fire extinguisher is going to explode if it gets any higher.
It's crazy, you know. I was hoping that was the last lap the one before, because I don't know how much I can hold on, you know.
Oh, bless you, mate.
Well, yeah, great race.
It was great, fantastic, well done, well done. Let's go grab a quick word with Mr. Gillen here as well. How was that out there? Did you enjoy that?
I've survived this time.
Is that what
Last
it is?
time I spoke to you, I was in trouble.
Is it a bit of survival of the fittest out there, is it?
Yes. Not too bad after Upton Park, so.
Yes. No, of course, look, you've got it high. You've got to do it all again a little bit later as well. So, thank you. Let's grab a quick word with White Oak as well here. How was that? Did you enjoy that?
That was a lot of fun. The drive was a lot slower than the car is, but it was hot and sunny and exciting, especially when the minis are trying to get past you.
Yeah, they're like little buzzing bees, aren't they? They're the wasps, they're so quick.
You can't see them coming, and as soon as they get upon you, they're off. So it's, yeah, all in all, good fun.
I'm really pleased you're here because I've always had a bit of a thing for these cars. What's it like to drive around Silverstone?
Understeering like mad. The brakes start working eventually. But when it all comes together, I'm sure somebody that can actually drive would have a very good time in this car.
I think you're selling yourself short.
No, it's good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Lovely. Thank you, well done. Congratulations. Right, we are going to head off for a break. We're still going to be bringing you the MG Cup Race 2 a little bit later. That's due to get underway just after 4 o'clock, I think, isn't it, Charles? But that is it for the Mini 7 Racing Club here at Silverstone this week. And really hope you've enjoyed the coverage if you've been keeping up to date with the Minis. I've been in Waterhouse, he's been at Charles Boniface for the Minis. For those of you who are tuning out now, thank you. And of course, as ever, drive safely. For the MG Cup, we'll be back live in just over an hour. Thank you.